Hello folks, welcome to the channel. Hope everybody is keeping well. I'm just popping down to my local Triumph dealer, and today it's going to be a first ride review on Triumph's Scrambler 400X. So if that's something you're interested in, pop into the kitchen, put the kettle on, make your favourite beverage, and whilst you're doing all that, I will run the intro. Bosh. So here she is, and this is Triumph Scrambler 400X, and it hit the showrooms in January of this year. Nice looking bike, and this is the green one. I'll put all the colours up here. You can get them in 3 colours. I think you can get them in green, black and red basically. So it's quite a tall bike. It's 835mm is the seat height, and I don't think there are any higher or low seat options. So I'm 5'9", 32-inch seam. Here's a video of me sat on the bike in the showroom, and yeah, I can't quite flat foot it, pretty much sort of just on tippy toes, and it's a fairly easy bike to move around as well. Let's start it up then. Simple key in the ignition, fire it up. Yeah, nice little throaty sound from this 398cc water cooled single cylinder bike. And let's have a little feel of the clutch as we move away. Nice light clutch. I think what we'll do, folks, is we'll just have a little time around town, and then we'll find an open road, go and take some photos somewhere, a bit of a walk around, and then have a few twisties, and then back to the showroom. So without further ado, let's have a little spin around town and see what it's like in a town city environment. It is a little bit of a tall bike, if I'm being honest. I'm 5'9", 32-inch inside leg, and even for me, I can't quite flat foot it. So if you're sort of 5'7"-ish, then you may struggle, and you might want to have a look at the road going version of this. They do 2 flavours, the scramble one and the road version. The road version slightly less suspension travel, and the seat height is a little bit lower. Position of the knees and the foot pegs, etc., is not too bad actually. It's a nice comfortable bike, so no issues riding around town. Slow speed handling is fine. Nice width on the handlebars, and you are certainly upright, shall we say. In town then with the clutch, it's a light clutch. I think they've got a torque assist clutch stroke slipper clutch, so it just assists you in smooth pulling aways and slowing downs. But what I have noticed is first gear is quite short actually, and second as well, so you want to dispatch those fairly quickly, and it seems to be happier in third gear. So you through first and second, certainly travelling slow. I just found the throttle just a little bit on the snatchy side, but you just might want to feather the clutch a little bit and give it a bit more gas. Nice handling bike, shall we say, and nice and comfortable. If you didn't know, then Triumph are quite a premium brand, and they've had the Scramble bike out for a number of years now. So this is part of the classic range, the Scrambler 400X and the Speed 400, joining their bigger brothers, the 900 and the 1200. So I'm sure Steve McQueen would quite enjoy riding this one as well. So this is the smallest bike in Triumph's catalogue now. So I think the rumours came out in June 2023 and actually hit the showrooms in January 24, so a couple of months ago. It's a popular bike actually, and I can see why. So if you didn't know, then Triumph's a British brand, but this was designed in the UK and England, but it's actually been manufactured through one of Triumph's partners, and they've partnered up with an Indian manufacturer, Bajaj, however you pronounce it, and they're a big company out India way. So the bike is manufactured in 3 plants actually. I think I got plants in India, Thailand, and I'm going to say Brazil. I think Brazil is the other one. It's not a problem because Triumph clearly have got their eyes on quality control, and having looked at the quality of the bike, nice thick paintwork and all that kind of stuff, nice welds. Yeah, it seems as though it is a nicely put together machine. So massive market out in India and Thailand for these sort of 400cc kind of bikes. I guess they're cheaper to run, cheaper to purchase, cheaper insurance, and cheaper for maintenance costs as well. So let's talk about the bike then whilst we're still mooching around town. And it's banging out 39.5 horsepower with 37.5 Newton meters of torque. A firmish seat, but it seems quite supportive, and handlebars are nice width as well. The levers are non-adjustable, so the brake lever and the clutch lever non-adjustable. Weight wise then it's coming in at 179 kilograms, and cc wise it's actually 398 cc. So what is the cost to you folks out there to go and get one of these from your local Triumph dealer? Cost price then for this one, the Triumph Scrambler 400X, it's going to set you back 5,595 of your hard-earned pounds. So what do we get for your money then? So we'll do a walk around very shortly, but for that money then, there are no riding modes on this bike. Basically it's an electronic throttle, and that is it. You have got ABS and traction control, which you can turn off. And what they've got is basically an off-road mode. So if you want to go and do a little bit of light off-roading, and I would say this is what the bike is capable of doing, no more than that. It is really just a light off-roader, bit of gravel and stuff. Then by using the information button here on the left hand side, you can then deactivate the ABS and the traction control and put it into off-road mode, and then obviously make sure you put it back into the normal modes when you come to ride it back on the road. If you're brave enough, I think this bike will top out at sort of 98 to 100 miles an hour or something like that. So if you're going to go on the motorway, then you should be able to sit there at 70 miles an hour. This 13 litre tank will sip fuel at a rate of about 80 miles per gallon, so should be good for a theoretical range of something in the region of 232 miles. That is theoretical range. That's a good Indian in there. Neue Schappler, very good Indian if you're in Jersey. And tyres wise, I think we're on Karoo tyres, so they're sort of off-road, road kind of tyre. I don't know what the percentage split is, but yeah, it's nice, feels alright. For 398cc, it's got a little bit of poke to it. Yeah, it's not going to set the world alight, but who's going to be using this kind of bike? Well, I guess somebody that's just sort of progressing up the CC market on the bikes, is A2 compliant, Euro 5 and all that kind of stuff. It's got enough pep to it, but it's not going to scare you witless. And obviously a bike of this size is going to be cheaper insurance, I'd have thought, and less maintenance costs. And talking of maintenance costs, servicing on this is every 10,000 miles. I think that's a class leading thing. So yeah, 10,000 miles, so that hopefully, or every 12 months, whichever comes sooner. Yeah, so who's going to get this? Somebody that's new to biking or progressing up the biking ladder, and who wants to get into the Triumph brand. And I think this bike looks cool as well. It could be a second bike, so if you're looking for a second bike with a bit of fun, yeah. So this is a bike that I think will sit quite comfortably at 60 miles an hour, although it will top out at sort of 98 to 100 miles an hour. I don't know if I'd want to be doing that. 70 miles an hour, I've read that it's a little bit vibey, the engine possibly, but if you've got one of these, make some comments in the comment section down below. But yeah, living in the real world of 0 to 60 miles an hour, I think that's the best place for it to be. Stick on the B roads kind of thing, A roads occasionally, motorways were good luck I suppose. But yeah, it's got plenty of pep to it. Suspension wise, it's non-adjustable. The rear is adjustable for preload only, but it's quite flickable, it's nice. Those tyres feel fine, no noise from those tyres, which are sort of street tyres but with a bit of an off-road feel to it. But the engine's got a nice little bit of torque to it, got to play with the gearbox and use it. I like the little dash, you can quite clearly see what gear you're in. Rev counter, pretty irrelevant really, don't need to look at that. And the big needle on the speedo. So yeah, up to 60 miles an hour, I think that's where you'd be looking at. But yeah, handles, bit of fun to it. Nice, certainly chuck it around. Right, yeah, there's not really much more to say. Goes all right. Right, let's see if I can switch the traction control ABS off into off-road mode. Right, I'm not too sure what I've done there, but I've gone into off-road mode, so the traction control is off and the ABS is off as well. I'm not sure if that means the front ABS is off, but I should be able to slide the back around and stuff. So let's just see what's been switched off. Bit of gravel here. So yeah, I think, yeah, so the back's off. What about the front? Oh, there we go. He's stalling it. Not sure if the front ABS is off. Yeah, so that turns the front ABS off as well. So everything is off, so you can go and play around with it. And this is the kind of terrain that I think it would be suited to. A little bit of light off-roading, really. Yeah, it's all right. And standing up, yeah, it's fairly comfortable on those rubber pegs, which you can remove the rubber inserts out if you want to go do a little bit more hardcore light off-roading. But yeah, it's all right. It's good. So you can have a bit of fun with this machine. It's nice and light. It's sort of 179 kilos. Yeah, chuck it around and do all this kind of stuff, and you're not worried about dropping a big heavy adventure bike, you know. So for the newbies out there, I think this would be pretty good actually. Yeah, pretty good. Anyway, let's do the walk round, shall we? So the walk round and the side stand, it's quite a way back actually, but it's got a nice peg thing on it. And how low does it go on the stand? Yeah, that's all right. So that is the Triumph Scrambler 400X. The old plate's not for me. Somebody was demoing it and was on a provisional license, and this is A2 compliant as well if required. Here we are then, folks. This is the Triumph Scrambler 400X in all its glory. So what do we get for its £5,595 price tag? I think we get quite a nice looking machine actually. So it has got solid wheels, and they are 19-inch at the front, 17-inch at the rear, and they are wearing a Karoo street tyres with that slightly rough off-roady kind of knobbly kind of look to them. And lighting wise, we've got LED lights all the way around. Not sure if this plastic cover comes as standard. If it doesn't, I will put something on the screen. Then we have non-adjustable upside down suspension on the front. That's 43mm, and the travel on that is 150mm. And on the back, the suspension then is, it's adjustable only for pre-load. Comes standard with plastic handguards, which is quite a nice touch actually. And the controls, the clusters, very basic. It's all you need, isn't it? It's got some hazard warning lights. You've got some hazard warning lights on here, and the engine start on here as well. And on the left hand side, information button. I think that's high beam, low beam, and I think that's the DRLs, and then the high beam pass light on here, and then obviously the start button. Mirrors, nice and usable actually, no issues there. And you get a nice crossbar thing, Triumph padded thing on that. And as we said, the suspension is non-adjustable. Instrumentation wise, you've got a nice big speedo up here, then just pop it on and does its sweepy thing with all the warning lights there. And you've got a nice gear indicator, and then you've got a sort of block countdown bar to fuel remaining in the bike, and a rev counter, which is not particularly brilliant. I don't think you need the rev counter, but it's there anyway. And a very basic information, and changing the traction control, and what else, the ABS modes, using the information button on here. This is nice touch here, I quite like that, that's good. Fuel filler cap, it's nice. Again, it looks nice quality stuff with putting the key in here, so then swivel that back around. Nice bit of Triumph branding on here. Paintwork's all really good. All this nice deep black paint on the framework, so the quality is very nice actually. I like the rubber tank guards as well, they're good. Got inserts on the foot pegs here, so if you want to take the rubber inserts out, you can. Side stand, no centre stand, don't know if that's an option. And let's have a look around the other side then. So around the other side, so obviously the horn, then you've got the radiator here. There's a bit of a radiator protector guard there, and then we've got a plastic sump protector on here. Brakes wise, well, we just got a single caliper on the left hand side. That's all you need for this kind of weighty kind of bike. So yeah, they're good. And apparently the pads on this one are slightly different, so less bite in these pads compared to the Speed 400. So you could or I guess if you're not going to go off-road, you could put the speed 400 pads in there to give you a bit more bite on the road. But I've had no issue with the brakes at all. Very nice. And on this side of the bike we have the rear caliper, and on the other side is the chain and sprocket. And you've got some nicely branded Triumph foot pegs on the rear if you want to take a pillion passenger as well. Seating wise, you've got a nice big seat on here. I like the way that it's sort of, they've got that quilted effect. That's nice and comfortable. And then for your pillion, you've got a separate pad on here. Key to remove that, and you've got to undo some bolts or something to remove this one if you want to gain access to it. But we have a look under the seat very shortly. Again, the fit and finish does look really nice. It's good quality of paint on there, looks really good. And then the rear subframe, you can remove that if you bend it, I guess. Rear brake pedal, yeah, it's all good. Nice bit of grippy bit on there. And then you can remove these rubber inserts if you wish, and they are, oh yeah, look, they flick up, so yeah, okay. And then exhaust, we'll start the bike up very shortly. Yeah, nice single exhaust coming out there, looks good, sounds alright actually. And then this is the TR series engine, 400cc, but it is 398cc. Water cooled double overhead cam. Yeah, EU5 compliant, and banging out 39.5 horsepower. And even like the finish on the engine, it's all really good. And all the metals around here, yeah, it just looks, I'm a bit of a fussy chap, and yeah, I think they've done a fit and finish on there is really nice actually. Yeah, good job Triumph. Fuel tank wise, then on this 13 litre tank, again it's got this nice finish to it, sort of a matte finish. Looks really good. Yeah, all nice, nicely finished. So what lurks under the seat? Well, let's have a look, shall we? So how do we get the seat off then? That can't be that complicated, surely. So we've had a look around the 400X. Let's start it up and hear what it sounds like. I mean, folks, it's not going to set the world alight, is it? But doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, quite nice. And finally, before we get on the bike and go back to the dealership, accessory-wise, well, there's over 20 accessories you can get for this. You can get a screen for the front here, give you a bit more wind protection if you're going to be on the A roads and motorways. You can put some luggage rack on the back. They do luggage for it as well. They did a whole host of things. I couldn't see heated grips on the Triumph website, but having downloaded the PDF manual last night, it does in the manual show that you can get 3 levels of heated grip. So yeah, I believe you can get heated grips for it, but it doesn't show it on the Triumph UK website. And that is it, folks. That is the Scrambler 400X. So let's get back on it and take it back to the dealership via a few twisties. Woohoo! Competition wise, I don't really know the competition wise that's going to be for this bike. I guess it's going to be, well, this is a 400 sort of bike, so you've got to be looking at the KTM 390, Himalaya 450. I think I'm not very good at these things. Himalaya 450, and then you've got Honda's. I think Honda have got a new NX 500 out or something like that. So, but I've had a look at those. I'll put those details up there if I can, and they are all slightly more expensive than the Triumph actually, and this comes with 2 years warranty as well for that price of 5595. I think before we go anywhere, I was going to say I had to maybe reconfigure the bike to go from off-road mode back into on-road mode, but when you turn the ignition off and then back on again, it defaults to the safety mode of traction control ABS on, so I don't have to do anything there. So I think what we'll do is let's go and find some twisty roads and take it back to the dealership. But what a beautiful day. That first and second a little bit short, so just dispatch those as quickly as you can. Yeah, 5'9" handling wise. Yeah, it's a good little bike actually. It's got plenty of go in it. sort of up to 60 miles an hour. I think that would be its ideal territory. You can do a little bit of light off-roading with it. Quality of the fit and finish is very good actually, so don't be put off by the fact that it's not built in Hinckley or whatever in the UK. The finish is really good, folks. Handling wise, from those Karoo sport tyres, it's great, it's good, it really is good. No noise from the tyres, and the brakes from that single front caliper at the front, it's 100 and however many kilos of weight this bike is, so you don't need double brake discs and whatever on the front. And that engine, that 398cc 39.5 horsepower engine, yeah, woohoo, it goes all right. Yeah, I mean, you can really, you know, throw it around. It's just, it really is heaps of fun. And if you put all the accessories on it, you know, you've got to go away for the weekend or whatever. But if you've got one of these, folks, please put some comments in the comment section down below. It's, you know, that's throttle full open, that is. But it's a very basic bike to ride, so you don't, if you're new to riding, you don't have to worry about all the different kinds of riding modes and stuff. You can just leave it as it is, and you know that the traction control and the ABS will protect you. So yeah, it's very simple from an electronic point of view. You don't have to worry about getting bogged down in menus and all that kind of stuff. This bike is the cheapest in that competition, but I really don't know who the competition is, but they're the ones that I could come up with. So with the 39 horsepower, then you've got enough to dispatch vehicles, and the brakes are fine. Turns in really nice, no surprises. The only negatives there in that first and second gear are quite short, and then if you're, you know, 5'8" and below, 5'7", then you might struggle from a height point of view, because I don't think there is a low seat option for this, so you might just have to drop down to the Triumph Speed 400, which has got the same engine in it. It's just it's got 17-inch wheels front and rear. The suspension travel is slightly less, and on this one, to accommodate the 19-inch front wheel, they've just raised the headstock a little bit, so it's got a different rake on it. But this one does sit a little bit higher, but you can then go and do a little bit of light off-roading. So I think it was me, I'd go for the Scramble version. I think it looks quite cool actually. There we go, I've got the view already. So you've got enough pep to overtake stuff. Thank you, sir. Pull back in again. Anyway, that's it, guys. I like the bike, it's a nice bike. Pop into your local Triumph dealer, go and take one of these out for a run. I will think that you will be pleasantly surprised. That, folks, is the Triumph Scrambler 400X. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got one, make some comments in the comment section down below, that would be lovely. So I'm going to sign off, ride safe, and we'll see you again soon in the next video. And thanks, Tony at the Mansell Collection, for allowing me to take this bike out for a couple of hours today. Really enjoyed it. It was fun. Bye bye.